At this point, we've got quite a few clutter kits for The Sims 4, and that's kind of got me thinking that it might be a fun challenge to do a build using only the clutter kits. In my opinion, the clutter kits are some of the better kits for this game. They don't really have furniture, they mostly have really small decor items, and because of that, they tend to have more items in them. And there's some really neat stuff that can kind of go a long way in making a build feel very realistic. Things like a hairdryer, a bar of soap, headphones, glasses, oven mitts. These kind of little details go a long way in a house. So the only reason it's kind of a challenge is because there's no furniture, but otherwise it's not going to be hard to use all of this really nice decor stuff. So there are 3 kits with the word clutter in the name, which we're obviously going to use. The kitchen clutter kit, the bathroom clutter kit, and also the everyday clutter kit. But I'm gonna throw in my kit, the comfy gamer kit, as well. This one does have a couple of furniture items like the desk and the desk chair, but it is a clutter kit, and I know this because I made it. So it's got 30 items too, which is the same size as the other clutter kits. The regular kits usually have more like 25-ish items. Might need to do some money cheats, and then we can try and get started. This is kind of weird, but I'm thinking that I might build it as a floor plan first, and then try and piece together the outside afterward. So I'm thinking that this side will become the bedrooms all over here. I don't know. Look, I'm just trying to think this one through. But maybe it could be like this. So it's 4 bedrooms total. We have like primary bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, 3 kids' bedrooms, and a little hallway bathroom. And then the rest of this is like the open kitchen, living room, dining room sort of space. We could have the kitchen kind of along here, and maybe we even extend this out a little bit because the bathroom could be bigger. The kitchen could be right here, living room, couch thing right here, maybe like a small dining table. It looks kind of strange. I don't know. We could add like a little bump out right there somehow. Yeah, you know, I'm not so sure about this, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of trial and error for it to work out. Okay, I'm kind of starting with the roof here. Don't know if I love that. Okay, here's kind of what I've got. Oh no. Maybe these should be a regular gabled roof. I think that we need the wall. Yeah, I think that looks better. It's a little bit of variety in the roof texture too. Let's make this shorter by a little bit. I'm thinking that maybe it would be better if these were even. Like maybe if it was more symmetrical, it would look nicer. Symmetrical, but then like some extra pieces added. That makes this really large. Oh, we can extend this out. That's nice because this is more of a dining room nook. Okay, I feel like I kind of have more of a vision now of how it's gonna be. I wasn't sure about this in the beginning, but I'm feeling a bit better about it now. Let me scoot this over so it's kind of centered. Oh, I don't like how that part looks. Okay, maybe I should do it. Oh, maybe it should just be like one of these. Okay. I don't know. If there was a big enough back porch, it might be okay. We can kind of extend this out like this. Oh, this is gonna be an expensive house. I just know. Plus all the clutter. It's not exactly cheap to put random stuff literally everywhere you look inside of a Sims build. Okay, well, we don't have any doors or windows from any of these packs, so we are a little bit stuck in that department, but that's okay because we can use the base game ones. I really like the new base game ones that came out in the update. We can do these 2 just like this for inside of the kitchen. Maybe one more over here inside of the kitchen. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put a sliding glass door right here for us to get out to the outside. I think I'll probably put the TV on this wall and we'll kind of orient the room facing that way. I should just put some furniture down so you can see what I mean. But we can kind of arrange the living room like that. Maybe I could do some more big windows right here. And then even like 2 more on this wall. I don't know. I kind of love that. Lots of big windows in the bedrooms. Although the living space actually does not have very many big windows. I wonder if I could double up the sliding glass door. That happens a lot in real life where it's like one big wide one. The only option for that is the tall one from the base game, and I don't really want to use that. See how much taller it is? It doesn't really fit. Okay, let's get our bedroom doors all put together. We've got this really nice little hallway. Maybe there could be a table in between them, or maybe a bookshelf, or I don't know, something like that. I think I'm gonna use a light wood color, maybe this one, and we'll put that throughout most of the house. And I'm just gonna start with the kitchen. I think I'm gonna do green because I know that the stuff from my kit has some nice green swatches, and then of course the new base game stuff also has some nice green swatches, so it's kind of a safe bet. That's a bit much, right? With that green tile, let's probably not do that. I was tempted, but I don't think I should. What do you think? Is this too much? Oh, actually that color? This is the backsplash decal, and this swatch kind of matches the countertop pretty well because it brings in all the different shades from the granite, marble, whatever this is supposed to be. I don't know my stones very well. I've never been that good at that. Can't intersect. Oh my gosh, are you intersecting the decal? Is that why it won't place right there? That is fascinating. I had actually never even considered that being a problem. Well, because like, why would it be? Who would assume that would be an issue? You know what? I might skip the window right here. I think I'll actually put the appliances in this section instead. This is my favorite appliance, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna use it. Oh, we got the kitchen clutter kit one. Why does it have to be so skinny? You know what I mean? What color is good? I mean, any of the white ones that have stuff on them is good. I like this one. I guess if we get columns on either side, we can kind of try to blend it in. Yeah, it doesn't stick out too bad, so that works. The kitchen clutter kit also has a sink that we can use, and it's got like dishes in it, which is so cool. Well, let's just start getting all of the good stuff put up here. So I put a spice rack up there. This little dish rack will probably be nice to put by the sink. I'll put some knives right by the stove. Maybe also these. But we could do them in yellow. I like the yellow. I got plates and bowls up high. You know, there's not really a lot of space for me to put things. We can do the little plants up there. I'll do the recipe iPad too. And I love the cookie sheet. Let me scoot it back just a little bit more. But they could be actively making some cookies in the kitchen. Maybe they have their groceries just like out on the floor mid being used. I would have liked to have had this thing too, but I feel like this doesn't really fit anywhere. My plan was to make the house kind of small because I thought that would be useful in making it extra cluttered, but now I'm like, there's not enough space to put all the clutter that I want. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the bathroom for a second. Maybe it's better to have this tucked away because we can do the bathroom counters like this. Okay, let's look through everything in the bathroom clutter kit now. We got toilet paper. This is like a little nightlight, which is so cute actually, but probably won't put that in here. Maybe in the other one, like the kids' bathroom. Okay, let's start putting some of this random stuff down. I guess I should get the sink first. I really want to do the big mirror because that's like the most normal looking bathroom mirror to me because they're all like that where I grew up in Florida. Okay, that's pretty nice. We do also have this big towel. I might just use it in plain white. I think I want to have this bathroom sort of fancy, and then we can make the other bathroom feel a little bit more like kid appropriate with more colors. Kind of trying to show the range of the bathroom clutter kit, you know? I will get a plunger. Maybe I'll put the plunger on this side of the toilet. Does that look better? Because it's kind of like shoved in the corner. I think so. So when this kit first came out, one of the things that I was so excited about is that it came with light switches, which we had never had before in this game. And I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna use these everywhere I go in like every single build ever. And guess what? Now we have light switches and I very rarely use them. I'm gonna make sure I put them in here though. I'm getting like double light switches by the front door. Oh, here we could put, maybe there could be some in the kitchen because this wall's kind of blank, so that helps. A couple of them by the outside, one in the hallway. Oh, the combs could have been cute. Maybe I'll add that too. I got some little bird paintings. I think I'll just use this little cabinet above the toilet. Oh, maybe we could do a different color with the tile in the other bathroom. Make it a little bit more blue instead. Hey, what do you think happens? This is so bad, but what do you think happens if I cover up the window with the tub? I know in my heart that I should not do that, but I really sort of want to. I want a shower tub combo bad inside of this room. Okay, here's kind of like a funky kids thing. We can have like the mix of the blue and the green. I'll put a bath mat. Okay, I've got soap. That's an important step one. Maybe we could leave the toothpaste tube out. Let's do the empty toothpaste tube instead. This one's like, they've left the trash on the counter. Their parents are probably so mad. Putting this thing on top of the toilet. Can I do a plant? Oh, it doesn't really want to fit. That's okay. I'm scared of overdoing it. Maybe we should just let it be like that. Okay, now we're kind of getting somewhere with the house. It's kind of starting to look a little bit less empty. There are a couple of things that we just don't have a kit version of, like the dining table and stuff. There is a rug from my kit if we wanted to try and use that, and I will use it. I think what's kind of making me nervous is I don't really want it to be like all green everywhere in the whole house, and I'm kind of scared that if I use this here, it will be. I guess we could just do it in like a cream. Oh, no coffee tables either. We could do the glass coffee table. Do I like that? Let me just put this stuff down as like a placeholder. Oh, see, this chair is clipping, which makes me so sad. We can have this be more in the middle of the room. It is still possible to walk around it. And this could also, if we're gonna use the tiny stuff, this could be scooted over, which saves some room. What if we did not have the column there? I really want the column here though. I mean, one way around this is to put the tile all the way down the whole thing. We could put a little trash can next to it to help distract. Okay, kitchen clutter kit artwork. Is this gonna be a major breakthrough or is it gonna be weird? I kind of like like this one with the coffee. Maybe I could put another one of these frames in the kitchen and kind of make it look like it's rested up against the wall. That one's nice. Let's just do it. Not a lot of plant options from any of these kits either, though we do have the plant from my kit. I might use that on the middle of the table. How far back can this go? Oop, too far. I think I'm gonna put that little bookshelf behind here. I know this is very tight, but it is still walkable. Like, you can get through there, so I'm gonna try and stick to it. There's not any ceiling lights from these kits either. I'm kind of looking through the list of kit things. Oh, see, like, we haven't put anything from the everyday clutter kit yet, but we can start adding some of that stuff in. One thing I've really enjoyed doing with this kit in the past is hanging up this thing and then putting like a mixture. I like to make it look like the bags are hanging on one of the hooks, and I combine the two together. Wow, I wish there was like a larger plant, like one that could go on the floor from one of these kits. It's kind of funny for me to sit here and be like, gosh, I wish the kit had this thing. And like one of the kits is my kit. But I didn't have like full, you know, I couldn't just put whatever I wanted. And there could only be so many items in my kit. So I was limited in that way. But it is kind of funny to complain about stuff lacking and then like I'm part of the problem. Okay, this is the TV, the frame TV. I think I'm gonna use it. That's actually a reward item. So annoyingly, it is no longer accessible to us. You had to have played in the rewards event back at Christmas time to be able to have this, and now it's just gone. But that is a good reminder that if you haven't played the current event yet, the one that ends in a couple of days, maybe you should, because then you won't end up missing out on something like this cool frame TV. Granted, this is not one of the items, and the items in the current event are not as good. But the current one has like an outhouse toilet, and that's cool. Oh, I'm actually gonna put 3 light switches right here. In my house, there's like 4 light switches all in a row like this by the back door, because it has the back door light, the kitchen light, the dining table light, and oh, there's one more, but I don't remember what it does. I've lived in this house for like 3 years, and sometimes I still forget which switch is which, but that, I know that can't just be me though, right? Like that probably also happens to you. At least I hope it does. I'll feel less ridiculous if it does. I'm thinking about trying to put some kind of little table next to here because I want to have some clutter on it. Oh, I'm gonna do the big candle from my kit. I'll put that like right here. And maybe I'll use the little plant from my kit, but I'll size it down and then like rotate it so it looks a little bit different. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, I think that helps it feel a little bit more cluttered and cozy in here. I'm trying to decide if I want to put anything on top of here. I like the idea of clutter on top of the fireplace, but I'm also scared that it's gonna block the TV. So that's kind of what's holding me back right now. Okay, I'm gonna do a little table right here. Maybe we get a big piece of art on top of it. That's like blue and yellow, which doesn't really match the rest of the house, but honestly, I don't really mind. I think that's okay. I'm looking through all of the clutter kits right now because I'm trying to decide if there's anything else. Oh, see, there's some stuff like this soap. I probably could have used the soap. And this little fishing thing. I could have used the fishing thing. Maybe that could go in the primary bedroom. Okay, this is like a speaker and a pencil cup and other things all at once. I'm gonna put that here because then there can be a radio in the living area. Oh, I was gonna use this and then I forgot. Let's just put that in the corner right here. Even in that color is perfect. Oh, and we could do this little stack of receipts and some coins. There are some extra things that I might want to put on this table. Okay, so kind of what I'm thinking right now is I want to set it up like they've got video game controllers out. And then also maybe like the dad had been sitting here reading. So he has his dirty coffee cup and his glasses on the coffee table. We just put the video game console on top of there and then everybody wins. There's something up there, but it's not too distracting. And then it gives me an excuse to use my game controllers. Do you think it would be weird to use the same bookshelf again? Because I kind of am wanting to. I know I have it right there, but I just like having more furniture. And then it's another spot to put clutter. I just think that looks way nicer. Okay, let's try that. Oh, you know what I didn't get is a burglar alarm. Maybe I could use that over here though. As long as it's in the room, it doesn't need to be next to the front door. It can just be somewhere in the space. I painted all the walls white for now. I kind of like them being white. Oh, you know what's an interesting idea? I wonder if we could, instead of using this, I wonder if we could put this little cabinet right here and pretend that the cabinet is like a table, because that brings some of the green more that way. I just don't like it though. Sorry. Maybe a different time. Maybe not today. We could also swap, because I love this painting, but we could swap it and have like the blue and yellow here and the green and blue here, because that brings the green more this way as well. Let's start doing the bedrooms. Unfortunately, we are left with only the base game beds. Oh dear, that is clipping. Okay, here's kind of what I've got as a starting point for the bed. I know I'm gonna want a dresser, which we can maybe put over there. I don't think I wanna use the desk from my kit in this room, because I'm gonna use it in one of the teens' rooms, and I don't wanna use the same desk like everywhere. I might use the chair from my kit though. And I also might use the computer from my kit, because I like that it has the green. Oh my god, these Sims can be into fishing. Okay, I tried some green curtains. I don't know if I like that very much. I think that once we have some clutter in here, it'll start to look a little bit bit better. Okay, so this is kind of what I have for the desk. It's like a little in-home office situation. I've got some jewelry and like a little makeup mirror on this dresser. Let me try and alt place it all a little bit better though. That might be a little bit much. I'm not sure. Maybe I could put this in the bookshelf. Well, no, that's a bit bad too. Like, can I try and place this in here? It needs to go up a little bit more first. Yeah, okay, we can put it inside of that. Okay. On this nightstand, I put a book, a water bottle, and a plant. And then on this one, I'm gonna have the alarm clock, maybe a different plant. Oh, I should have put the headphones on the desk. It's hard because this desk doesn't have very good slots. And I don't really love placing stuff with cheats on the desk because your Sims can get kind of weird about using the computer. I'm gonna put the diary right here. Maybe this Sim likes to write in their diary before bed. You know what though? I am gonna use this because I'm gonna get it at exactly the right height and just tuck it away in the corner. If it's up high, it shouldn't be too bad. I just don't want to get it too close to the computer and risk breaking something. Oh, this would have been nice. Maybe this could be in one of the kids' rooms. I think the primary bedroom's done. Now it's the fun part because we can do the kids' spaces. I think I'm gonna do kind of like a pride-themed bedroom for a Sim who is a gamer. I never know which one I want to use. Maybe I'll do the trans pride bed. We have a light blue swatch on this desk and we can get the pink desk chair. I think that works. Oh, I'll use the pink computer and desk mat too. Oh, I'm so excited about this room. Now, if there's one thing about the comfy gamer kit, it's that it is gonna go a long way when it comes to decorating like a teen's bedroom. It was born for this job. Okay, so here's kind of what I've got for the desk setup for now. I'm wondering about trying to use this cubby thing almost like a nightstand and putting it next to the bed because it fits pretty well right here. Sims 3 Seasons is a fun one to use, I think. At this rate, I'm gonna have used like every single item in the whole kit. Look at this. I actually think that I haven't used this yet. We can put this in here too. I'll use the freezer bunny swatch though. Trying to think what else might be nice. This is like an open shoe box. I guess we could use that. We've got makeup from the Everyday Clutter kit. I could stick another plant in there. Some of these little things, like this is just base game, but it's kind of like a base game plain little basket, so you can't really go wrong with using that. Some more books are probably good too. Oh, it looks so cluttered. Okay, I'm gonna do light pink curtains because I think I'm gonna paint the walls blue in here. Okay, here's like that trans pride shelf. We'll use that. Obsessed with this item, like actually obsessed with this flag, so I'm gonna put that there. Maybe we could do this pride flag by the door. Oh, because I could incorporate this hanging cow plant over in this. I might put a poster right here. How about the little jelly chair, the inflatable chair? That could be cute. We do a bookshelf. Okay, the posters help fill in this wall. Maybe I'll size this down so it fills that space a bit nicer. And I think I want to get a couple accent walls. I like this brick. Let's put some blue star lights on top. Okay, I think that's the first of the kids' rooms. Maybe we do like teen, child, and then toddler. So we have a mixture of different age groups. Oh, I always forget about this. This is called a slightly creative collection. It's like art supplies. Wireless drawing tablet, a mug. We could put that in here. I was kind of going through looking because I'm thinking that maybe this room could be a sort of sports theme. So I'm grabbing like everything remotely sports related. I had to cheat for money again. This is terrible. Maybe we could have it be like a twins sports room. Then we can kind of have this like orange and blue thing. I wish that I could change the color of the bed frame separately. Oh, it's so frustrating. I don't even know if I like orange. I mean, it's not my favorite color, but I want to try to use it in here. So something that I'm kind of struggling with now is that I can't really decide if I want it to be a kid's room or a teen's room. I just have this like sports theme thing in mind. And that's kind of it. Well, I guess the more I'm adding in, the more it is kind of feeling like kids' room. I mean, I put toys, so that kind of solidifies it. I guess I just wasn't really sure if I wanted to have like gym equipment because I could have put a punching bag, but the children can't use that. Okay, I've got some supplies on the desk. I want to leave it so they can do their homework here, so I won't put too much else on top of there. Do you really not slot on top of it? Why is there not a slot up here? Isn't that weird? I'll put that bookshelf in anyway. We can embrace the colors by putting in this fun rainbow wallpaper. And then last, we have the toddler room. I'm trying to decide what from these clutter kits is good for a toddler space. And the best I can come up with is maybe the decals. These are the decals from the bathroom kit. And we could try to use like all of them and make sort of like an ocean scene on one of the walls. Maybe we could do this wallpaper on the other side. We can have like a nice simple light blue kind of thing. Just trying to rearrange them so they all fit a little bit more nicely. How about that? It's actually really cute. I need to use these more. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I could put this up. Oh, I like how that looks with it being kind of set up a little bit higher on top of there. There's so many that they almost don't even fit, but I'm just gonna use them all. And I'll do white on the other walls because it's a little bit busy in here. Okay, I'm putting some toys on the floor. I've got a dollhouse. We've got our little bed for the kid. Maybe I could hang up some of their cutesy fancy little shoes. Do you think that this rug is kind of giving like under the sea bubbles? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do it anyway. There really isn't much else that's giving under the sea. I mean, the rest of it is mostly just kid stuff like baby wipes. That's all right. Those are necessary too. I think that's the whole inside of the house. Now we gotta try and power through the exterior, which we haven't even touched yet. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is put a floor down upstairs because I want to be able to use some little trim detailing. And then I'm gonna get columns on all of the corners, sort of like that. I kind of thought that maybe a bunch of the house could be brick. Not all of it, but a bunch of it will be brick like this. I really want to have like some kind of shingle thing to put on the front, but there's not. Of course, the Sims 4 base game doesn't really have that. It might even just have to be siding. Nobody wants that. I'm gonna try this instead. This is like a shiplap sort of texture, actually. Oh, the base game needs more siding and stuff so bad. Some landscaping is gonna go a long way with this build. Okay, well, I'm just gonna start putting in some of the landscaping. No point complaining about things that we can't change. I love the idea of having a kind of windy path that goes up to this front area. So I'm kind of trying to do like a terrain paint double path. You know, it's been a while since I did a base game build where I wasn't trying to like cheat for landscaping and use all the debug stuff. It's kind of nice to have money to put plants down. I love the look of this red, but I also feel like it's maybe not quite right for this build. Okay, well, here's what we're looking at so far. I think maybe it's a little bit much. And also maybe I want to have a bigger tree. Okay, I put some big trees back there too. That helps. Okay, I put a bench and a couple planter boxes by the front door. And now I'm moving on to the back. I'm gonna want to try to replicate some of the landscaping back here. I always enjoy this part of the build where I've already figured out the style of landscaping that I'm doing. And then we're kind of just like, I think saying copy pasting makes it sound bad, but that's sort of what I'm doing. I'm kind of just like copy pasting that style to the rest of the building. And the hard part for me is figuring out what I want it to look like. So once I've done that and I get to just place it all, that's fun. Okay, I put some monkey bars right here, getting a little outdoor dining table. I think I'll have a grill. I'm out of money again. I've spent so much money building this house. Okay, let's do one final check through of all of the clutter kit items and just see if anything might work outside. Cause, oh, I also forgot to finish all the light switches. I wanna make sure I have these in the bedrooms. All right, absolute last thing. Let's put some dirt terrain paint underneath the plants. It's so sad because I really like how the inside of this house looks. I think the inside is actually so beautiful, but I'm a little bit disappointed with how the outside has turned out because I feel like the outside just looks like any other base game house that I've built, but there's not really any other option. Like that's just what we have access to. I'm gonna put it on the gallery. 80,000. Oh my. I knew it was gonna be pricey. I'm gonna call it the Cluttered Family Home. It is 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and it's uploaded in case you want to use this for your own gameplay. $20 in packs right there, by the way. The Sims 4 is just so expensive, it's absurd. But hopefully you enjoyed this one. I actually really had fun doing this. I'm glad that we got to test this stuff out in this way. They really are some of my favorite kits. But I think on that note, I'm gonna end this video right here. If there are any other kits that you feel like I haven't built with enough lately, let me know in the comments down below because I would be so down to try and do a whole kit dedicated video. There have been so many kits that I feel like sometimes they just kind of get swept aside and forgotten about. So if you've got any ideas, but otherwise, I think I'm gonna go and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Okay, other thing for the comments. Sorry, I'm still going, but what's your favorite clutter kit? I think they're all good for different reasons, and like obviously I have a bias towards the Comfy Gamer kit, but I also really like the kitchen clutter kit. I just love kitchen stuff in this game.